right now on 5 on your side at 10.
Just hours ago, a miraculous recovery. A local police officer shot in the line of duty takes the mound at Busch Stadium. And
it's hot. It's hot. It's warm up in here, as they say in St. Louis.
tonight, the effort to keep St. Louisans cool.
Our big story tonight, the horrid heat. The record's still set to be broken, and when we get some relief.
A live look at St. Charles tonight, where it is still 89 degrees at 10 o'clock. We reached 100 degrees today, beating a 70-year-old record. Good evening. Thank you for being with us. I'm Ann Allred.
And I'm Mike Bush. This extreme and dangerous heat is sticking around, so let's get straight over to Chief Meteorologist Scott Connell. Scott?
You know, this heat early for this time of year. Usually it's later in June, more likely in July when we hit 100. We were at 100 for our high temperature today in St. Louis for sure. That breaks the record for the day set back in 1952. But wait, there's more. This morning's low was only 83, and part of the problem is we're not cooling off during the nighttime hours. That's the warmest low temperature ever recorded in June. Today's average temperature is going to be the highest average daily temperature so early in the warm season. And we're not done breaking records. Tomorrow's high temperature record is going down for the day as well. It's still well into the 80s across the area. Even places that are normally cooler, like Mount Vernon and Farmington and Flora, you're still at 82 tonight. Dew-point temperatures are still well into the 70s. It still feels like it's from 95 to 100 degrees across most of the metro area right now. There is no rain in the forecast and no relief from the heat for the next 3 days, but it will get a little bit better later this week into the weekend. Muggy and warm overnight tonight. That means we start similar to where we were this morning in the low 80s in town. We're jumping above 100 tomorrow afternoon. The wicked heat continues into Wednesday with heat indices topping out between 105 and 110 degrees, locally higher in spots, and then there's a break, at least to some degree, heading towards the weekend. We're talking about that and who else across the country is also dealing with the excessive heat in about 15 minutes.
And Scott, the St. Louis Fire Department is helping people stay cool. A fire truck parked in front of Ballpark Village tonight. It was spraying water to help Cardinal fans keep cool.
The excessive heat and humidity also didn't stop people from enjoying opening night at the Muni this evening. A potentially dangerous night for the crowd, along with the cast and crew.
The city of St. Louis is helping people keep their cool, especially those without air conditioning.
Pepper Baker joins us live downtown with how St. Louisans are handling this hot weather. Pepper?
Yes, Ann and Mike, St. Louis Public Library's 16 branches are all being used as designated cooling centers during their normal operating hours. Now, I spoke to some people who were using them during the day, but I also talked to people who really enjoy this heat at night. Summer is coming in hot, and all around the city, St. Louisans are finding ways to beat the heat.
It's hot. It's hot. It's warm up in here, as they say in St. Louis.
Kevin M. was just leaving the St. Louis Public Library's Carpenter branch on South Grand Boulevard.
I went to the library. Yeah, it's much cooler than my apartment. I should be staying in there until the sun goes down.
He's utilizing one of the 24 locations listed as cooling centers on the city's website.
If you don't have AC or you don't have AC that works well, the city has a number of cooling stations set up all across the city in order to allow you to go and cool down.
15th Ward Alderwoman Megan Green encourages people to use the resources available to stay safe and cool.
I think a lot of it is people don't know. We really have to get the word out. We have to be on TV, we need to be on radio, we need to be sharing this information with our constituents.
It's too hot to be out here all the time, especially when it don't get any cooler at night.
Over in Forest Park, the heat didn't stop fans from attending the Chicago musical performance at the Muni.
We love coming to the Muni. We're excited to be here for opening night. Heat wasn't going to stop us. We have lots of water. Some wine, too.
Kara Schmid set up a picnic outside with her family ahead of the show. She said the late 8:15 start time makes the heat tolerable when the sun goes down.
They have newer fans that they are quieter, so they're really big and they can now leave them on all throughout the performance. Before they were really loud, so they had to turn them off, but now they're quiet, so you still get a nice breeze.
Now, there's a full list of the cooling centers on the city's website, but you can also find that information on KSDK.com. Live in downtown, Pepper Baker, 5 on your side.
Our coverage of the excessive heat continues at KSDK.com and in the 5 on your side app. You can get updates on the forecast, plus learn the signs of heat stroke and exhaustion and the best ways to keep your home cool.
New details tonight on the death of Tyree Sampson. The 14-year-old from St. Louis died back in March when he fell from an amusement park ride in Orlando, Florida. The medical examiner released the teen's autopsy report today. It shows Sampson died from blunt force trauma after falling more than 70 feet. He suffered extensive injuries, including a fractured jaw, broken arm, broken leg, and fractures of several ribs. His death was ruled an accident. The Florida Department of Agriculture found the ride's operator made manual adjustments to the safety harness to allow for larger riders. Sampson weighed 383 pounds, 100 pounds more than recommended for the ride. He slipped through the gap between seats and the harness. The Sampson family has filed a wrongful death lawsuit.
Tonight, Alton police are sharing disturbing new information about the murder of a young pregnant woman. Lisa Dodd was found decapitated in a home on Bolivar Street last week. She was 8 months pregnant. The unborn child also died. According to police, she just moved here. Police arrested DeAndre Holloway of Litchfield. Investigators say he had an on and off again relationship with Dodd. He is being held on several charges. 2 girls are recovering tonight after being hit by stray bullets while inside their South St. Louis home. The shooting happened around 12:45 this morning on South Spring Avenue. The victims are 14 and 10. Both were taken to the hospital. No suspects have been identified.
We're learning more tonight about a shooting spree in West St. Louis County. Investigators tell us the suspect was a disgruntled employee at the pageant who first vandalized the popular concert venue in the Loop before going on a shooting spree while on his motorcycle. The Silkies in Ellisville was hit with bullets. At least 3 cars were also hit.
I heard 2 pops, the unmistakable sound of 2 gunshots from a pistol. It was unmistakable what he did next. He extended his arm towards the driver's door and fired at least 3 rounds, maybe 4.
Amazingly, nobody was hurt by the gunfire. Police say the man eventually ran from his motorcycle into some woods near Eureka, but they caught him. Police sources tell 5 on your side they previously did a welfare check at the man's home, removing 6 or 7 guns about 2 weeks ago. Well, the Cardinals just wrapped up their game at Busch Stadium, and the highlight of the night is not coming from Goldie, Arenado, or Yachty.
Our Holden Kerwicki is live outside the ballpark where there was a pregame pitch to knock blood donations out of the park. Holden?
Well, and you know, this is actually the kickoff, the official kickoff of the 19th annual Cardinals Blood Drive. And to highlight exactly how dire the situation is in our area, the Cardinals and the American Red Cross turned to a St. Louis police officer who continues to deliver the perfect pitch.
It's every little kid in St. Louis's dream to step out onto the field at Busch Stadium and throw a pitch.
I could never imagine this. It was definitely a dream come true.
However, it's a dream that no one imagined Colin Ledbetter living out just 6 months ago.
We went through a traumatic event, but I feel like I'm stronger for it.
January 26th, Ledbetter and his partner, 28-year-old officer Nathan Speece, were shot while pursuing a suspect in Ferguson.
His parents will tell you, I told them I didn't think he had much of a chance.
Ultimately, it took Dr. Douglas Scherer and a team of surgeons 39 units of blood to save Ledbetter's life.
And without the support of all the anonymous donors, he would not be here.
39 units of blood, it's astronomically crazy.
Now, Ledbetter is using his platform to inspire others.
Blood saves lives.
But according to American Red Cross of St. Louis Executive Director Beth Elders, there is still a critical shortage in our area.
Our blood supply is something that we constantly need. You know, every 2 seconds, somebody needs blood. And that's why we need people to roll up their sleeves and give.
It is so important. You don't know who's going to need it. It could be your loved one. Unfortunately, trauma affects people of all ages, and it's not planned.
I'm definitely going to be a donor. I wasn't before, and I regret it. But I will be now and for the rest of my life.
Beginning tomorrow, you can donate to the Cardinals Red Cross Blood Drive at 20 different locations all across the St. Louis area, and there are still appointments available. To find the location nearest you, go to our website, KSDK.com, and click on the link to this story under the As Seen on TV tab. Reporting live downtown, Holden Kerwicki, 5 on your side.
Just about an hour ago, the St. Charles County Council approved a $20 million plan to fix the county's pothole problems and other road issues. The funding will replace 35,000 slabs of concrete and miles of asphalt roadways. Most of the money comes from the American Rescue Act and the county's transportation sales tax.
A black bear seen roaming through a Fenton neighborhood this weekend has died. Festus police confirmed the bear was hit and killed by a semi on I-55 today. Viewer Justin Mathenia captured the bear on video near Saline Road in Fenton early Saturday morning. No humans, we're told, were hurt in today's crash.
Baristas at the Starbucks in Ladue have become the first in the St. Louis region to unionize. The workers at the store at Lindbergh and Clayton filed with the National Labor Relations Board back in March. They cited working conditions during the pandemic and the cutting of staff and hours. Workers at more than 150 company-owned locations, including 5 more local stores, have filed to join unions.
Tonight, the NAACP of St. Louis County held its 85th annual Freedom Fund Dinner, the nonprofit's largest fundraiser. The money raised goes towards youth programs, financial literacy courses, and environmental justice.
We're focusing on equal rights, equity for everyone, and one of our highlights this year is to talk about sensible gun laws so our children can come home from school.
5 on your side's Ryan Henson served as master of ceremonies at tonight's dinner.
Running on empty.
People, I think, maybe want to wait for prices.
$5 gas is driving a new trend, and it could cost you more. Too many emails, too little time to go through them. Steps to tame your inbox and declutter your digital footprint.
The excessive heat covers a good chunk of our area and on to the east. It takes a while to break, but there is relief in sight.
What's being touted as the most significant deal on new gun legislation in decades could be on the president's desk in weeks.
The lead Republican negotiator expects the bipartisan bill on the Senate floor by next week. The framework, agreed to by at least 10 Republicans, needed to pass a bill that includes red flag laws, investments in mental health, closing the boyfriend loophole that allows some convicted domestic abusers access to guns, enhanced background checks for 18 to 21-year-olds, and more resources for school security. It does not include an overall expansion on background checks, a ban on assault weapons, and raising the minimum age to purchase a firearm.
Tonight, Wall Street is in bear market territory for the first time since 2020. Stocks tumbled today amid growing fears the U.S. economy is headed for a recession. The Dow dropped 876 points. S&P 500 was down 151, hitting a new fresh low for the year. NASDAQ fell 530 points. Investors are still digesting Friday's worse than expected inflation report. Adding to Wall Street's worries, growing speculation the Federal Reserve could raise a key interest rate by 3/4 of a point. Some analysts are calling on Fed Chair Jerome Powell to raise interest rates by a full 1%.
Got to get control of that narrative and say, listen, we're not going to dribble out the medicine. Let's take it now.
The White House says Americans are well positioned to face these challenges, citing the economic gains made under this administration. Record high gas prices is driving a new trend. AAA says it's received increased calls for drivers running out of gas. The Auto Club says more than 200,000 drivers have been left stranded on the side of the road this year. It's received 450 out of gas calls just so far this month. Experts say running out of gas can cause damage to your car.
People, I think, maybe want to wait for prices to come down before they fill up. Well, we really haven't seen that in the last month. So even by waiting a day or two to fill up your tank, you're likely going to be spending more than if you got gas when you needed it.
AAA recommends you fill up your tank anytime you reach a quarter tank of gas.
Be honest, is your email inbox out of control? Are you embarrassed to show people your phone, afraid they might see the hundreds of thousands of messages? Well, have no fear. Consumer Reports is here with some easy tips to get rid of your digital clutter.
I never deleted any, so I had more than 200,000 emails.
Nicholas DeLeon is a tech editor at Consumer Reports and apparently someone who doesn't like to delete anything. Or at least that's the old Nicholas. After receiving an email from Google saying he was about to be charged for more storage space for his Gmail account, he decided it was time to start cutting back.
I became very very dedicated to eliminating those kind of like little subscriptions from my life.
And Google makes digital house cleaning a little easier with its storage manager.
So if you have like photos or videos or like giant PDFs or things like that, it'll highlight, be like, hey, you've got all this stuff. Do you want to delete it?
Next, he searched his account for companies and brands he interacts with a lot.
I don't need, electronics retailer circulars from 2009.
Like Nicholas, you can also use the search tool to find emails with attachments or ones from certain dates. Then you can even create a filter to delete the emails it catches.
Over the course of 2 days, a couple hours each day, it was more than 100,000 emails I was able to delete.
As you're deleting emails, take note of any old digital accounts you don't use anymore, because keeping them open can create a security risk.
The companies could be hacked and the information could get into the wrong hands.
You can find forgotten accounts using the welcome email you got when signing up. You can also search your common usernames online, check your browser for saved passwords or your personal password manager. And if you signed up for any accounts through social media like Facebook, you'll find them there. As for Nicholas, he says he's working hard to keep his inbox in check, and now he's more vigilant about what emails he keeps.
Do I need this delivery notification? Do I need this newsletter?
Well, one more tip, be choosy when it comes to which recurring emails, ads, or newsletters you sign up for. And if you find you're not reading the ones you get, open them one last time to unsubscribe.
I have 21,077 unread emails.
We were just talking. I have about 18,000, so you win.
We're a hot mess.
We are a hot mess.
Let's get over to another hot mess.
Speaking of a hot mess.
Yes, I didn't even mean to do that.
Well, it's the way it is. This is your heat index values right now, and they're just not pretty around the St. Louis area. Still close to 100 is what it feels like in the metro area right now. Even though we have the clear skies around St. Louis, 90 degrees is our current temperature. It's 10 o'clock at night, and we're still at 90 degrees in St. Louis after our high today of 100. The dew point's back to 76. Now, it dropped off a little bit this afternoon, but traditionally it comes up a little bit during the overnight and into the early morning hours. That may or may not be the case since we still have a little bit of a breeze. It may not go up much more. Show you out at Lambert right now. We are looking at some flight delays heading up towards Chicago. Chicago had some huge winds tonight with thunderstorms up there. We've been quiet as the upper level ridge is kind of building in and squashing our rainfall chances. But look at that area of showers and thunderstorms dropping southeast. Went through O'Hare with an 84-mile-per-hour wind gust. Fort Wayne just had a 98-mile-per-hour wind gust a few minutes ago. So a lot of wind damage with that cluster of storms. It's dropping southeast through Ohio. You'll hear about that tomorrow. Meanwhile, here we are in St. Louis. We've got the big upper level ridge building in. It's steering any storms away from us. So the rain chances are minimal, but the heat, that's with us, and it's not going anywhere. The excessive heat warning includes the metro area, down the Mississippi River, into southeast Missouri, across into southern Illinois, back into Kentucky and Tennessee. Elsewhere, it's a heat advisory. The bottom line, though, is we're all going to be dealing with low temperatures that aren't that low in the upper 70s to lower 80s, warm, humid conditions. That's with a mostly clear sky overnight with just a few clouds here and there. And here's the problem tomorrow. You know how we had those clouds midday today? That kept us from getting above 100. Had we had a full day of sunshine, we'd easily been 100, 102. We will be there tomorrow in that 101 to 102 degree range. And then factor in the humidity. We're still talking about those dangerous heat index values running around 110, 111 for the city of St. Louis. It starts to get slightly better here Wednesday. Thursday, we drop it off a little more. The good news is even though it's hot still this weekend with temperatures around 90, Father's Day weekend's going to be hot, but we will be looking at a lot less humidity, and that'll make it at least a little cooler during the overnight hours. So let's all take it easy here and not overexert ourselves. Make sure we're staying hydrated, checking on our neighbors, especially our older seniors who don't want to use that air conditioning, but really do need to keep at least that window unit on in one room. Stay out of the sun. Don't forget cooldownstlouis.org. We'll have more information about them coming up tomorrow and the good work they're doing in our community, partnering with many local areas and many agencies around the St. Louis area. Look at this forecast. The only thing that's really a problem here besides the heat, the lack of rain in there. Yes, the heat is a problem, particularly for the next couple of days when the humidity makes it unbearable almost. By this weekend, it's less humid, but it's still dry for the next 5 to 10 days. Very little chance for rain anytime soon.
All right, Scott, thanks. Frank is here with sports.
Well, Mike, we're playing hit and run, and the Cardinals are playing the Pirates, and it was a thrilling game. Plus, a St. Louis kid is going to the College World Series. Stick around. If you're a college football team in a Power 5 conference, you just have to beat up on the non-conference teams. You just have to. And if you're the Cardinals, that's what you have to do with the Pittsburgh Pirates. Now, you have to see the best defensive play of the night. It belongs to Yu Chang robbing Andrew Kisner. He made the throw while on the ground. Well, good things happen when you do the pregame interview with 5 on your side. Brendan Donovan talked to us today, and then he ripped a double to right, his second of the night, 2-run score, 5-2 Pirates at this point. Donovan, 3 hits tonight. He's hitting .310. Same inning, and Dylan Carlson hit one 406 feet to right center. It's a 3-run blast, and it's a 5-5 game at this point. In the 7th, it became a 6-5 game. Paul Goldschmidt, his 13th homer of the season, and the Cardinals beat the Pirates, the final 7-5.
No, it says a lot about that group. They know what they're capable of, and they did exactly that. There was no panic in there. They knew it was a matter of time. They were taking good swings, one dropping, but they still put together some quality at-bats.
Tonight, Game 5 of the NBA Finals. The team that wins this game in a 2-2 series wins the title almost 3/4 of the time. Right now, Golden State leads Boston 95-82 in the fourth quarter. Jason Tatum has 24 points. Well, here's another St. Louis product trying to win a championship. Kevin Graham from Ole Miss, the Westminster grad, delivered again yesterday for the Rebels. He now has 46 RBIs in 41 games this season. Ole Miss beat Southern Miss to advance to the College World Series. A pro career awaits, but it's on the back burner now.
We couldn't care less about that at this point. Just couldn't be more thrilled to be playing more games with these guys. I mean, obviously it's what you come back for, but I mean, more than that, just so proud of everybody, all the guys that worked to get here. Just want another year with these guys, another chance to get here, and couldn't be more proud of everybody.
We often play hit and run with sports celebrities, rapid fire Q&A, no hedging allowed. Ben Fredrickson is the provocative sports columnist for the Post-Dispatch, and he is lightning quick. Mizzou football plays for the SEC title, or SLU goes to the Final Four?
SLU goes to the Final Four. This could be the year, Frank.
Your favorite interview all time in St. Louis?
Oh my goodness, probably recently Tommy Pham, back before he slapped Jock Peterson around. Tommy Pham, maybe not the most famous, but never hedged on an opinion. He would be good on this segment.
Best part of your job?
Getting to interact with every sport that's going on in our area. Being able to bounce around, that's the best part. I don't have to focus just on one thing.
Worst part of your job?
Deadlines, and that can be tough when you're trying to squeeze everything in with not a lot of time.
Would the country be better without Twitter?
Yes, 100%. I would not be on it if I didn't have to be for my job. That's the easiest one you've asked.
If you could ask Stan Kroenke one question, what would it be?
Who hurt you and why?
The Mizzou starting quarterback this season will be?
I'll go Brady Cook.
Your wife finds what athlete in St. Louis attractive, and it kind of ticks you off?
Everybody loves Tommy Edman. My wife, my mom, I get it. Adam Wainwright said he's his favorite player. I'd say Tommy Edman.
You can sit down with any sports figure in history to do a profile piece. Dead or alive, who do you choose?
Muhammad Ali. Not that it hasn't been done, but would have loved to get a chance to talk to him.
And that is a great answer.
Yeah, it really is. All right, Frank, thank you.
An investment that requires a little infestation. The big bucks you can make by letting a few unwanted pests stay in your home. Tomorrow is a day to celebrate the Stars and Stripes. While President Woodrow Wilson officially established June 14th as Flag Day in 1916, it's not considered a federal holiday. It's estimated 150 million American flags are sold each year. According to YouGov America, 51% of American homes own a flag.
Well, Father's Day is this Sunday. According to the National Retail Federation, Americans are expected to spend $20 billion on dear old dad. That's on par with last year's record spending, but well below the $31 billion spent on Mother's Day. People are expected to spend an average of $171 on gifts like clothes, gift cards, electronics, and special outings.
A pest control company wants to pay you $2,000. Here's the catch. The company called the Pest Informer wants to release 100 American cockroaches into your home to test out a new treatment. If the treatment doesn't work after 30 days, the company will use traditional methods to exterminate the bugs. How many baby cockroaches have you made by then?
I lived in New Orleans for a couple of years, long time ago. Every spot on your rug, every spot on your counter, it was always a cockroach. So I want no part of it anymore ever again.
They were paying you nothing then.
They were paying us nothing. And there you have it, 5 on your side at 10. The Tonight Show starring Jimmy Fallon is next.